All right, today we're diving into a really critical moment for education and AI. We're at a crossroads where a whole field designed to help students is, well, at risk of getting totally distracted by its own shiny new toys.
Just think about that for a second. What if every single click, every pause you take, every right answer, what if all of that could be woven together to create a detailed map of your unique learning journey? A map that could literally guide you to success. This was, and honestly still is, the incredible promise of a field called learning analytics.
At its heart, it's pretty simple. It's about using data to support students. It's a whole science dedicated to learning directly from you, the learner, to understand the struggles, the breakthroughs, and ultimately to make education work better for every single one of us.
And in the beginning, the excitement around this was huge. I mean, it really felt like we were on the verge of a massive revolution in how we understand teaching and learning. It felt like a shift as big as the invention of the textbook itself.
The idea was so powerful because it was so simple. If we just had enough data, and we had these smart machine learning models, we could finally get a clear picture of how learning actually happens. We could see exactly where students get stuck, figure out what helps them succeed, and personalize education on a scale we've never, ever seen before.
But, and you knew there was a but coming, with the recent explosion of generative AI, a new problem has popped up. The field is now seriously at risk of losing its way, kind of seduced by the very technology that was supposed to make it all possible.
So instead of using these incredibly powerful new AI tools to get a better handle on how students learn, a lot of the research has kind of pivoted. It started to focus on studying the AI models themselves. The tool has suddenly become the main attraction.
Think of it like this, right? Let's call it the analytic gaze, like a big magnifying glass. The whole mission was to point that magnifying glass at the student, to see their learning process with this amazing new clarity. The danger now is that we've turned that magnifying glass around and we're just staring at the AI, totally mesmerized by what it can do.
And this quote right here just nails the problem. When the main subject of your study is no longer the human learner, the entire reason for learning analytics starts to fall apart. It's in danger of becoming a completely different field altogether.
You know, this temptation to get distracted by the shiny new tech isn't actually new. This pattern feels very familiar because we've been here before, just with a different piece of technology.
Just take a look back. In the early 2010s, everyone was obsessed with big data. Research papers became these technical showcases, all about complex methods, and sometimes they forgot the whole point was to actually understand students. The fear is we're doing it all over again, letting education become just a sandbox for testing out the latest AI.
So how do we get back on track? Well, the source material lays out a really clear path forward. It's one that puts the human learner right back in the driver's seat, exactly where they belong.
It's called an integrative agenda. It's a fancy term, but the idea is simple. It's about integrating all the different pieces of a student's story together, not just the parts that are easy to count or fit neatly into a new AI model.
Here's how it breaks down. Step 1, you start with the numbers, the quantitative data, the clicks, the test scores. But, and this is so important, you can't stop there. Step 2, you add the qualitative data, the language, the essays, the discussions, which, by the way, is where AI can be an amazing assistant. And then, step 3, you put it all together to understand the whole person, how they think and how they interact with others.
This slide really highlights the crucial difference. The wrong way is treating AI as the end goal, studying it just for the sake of it inside a classroom. The right way is to see AI for what it truly is, an incredibly powerful tool that helps us achieve the original mission, understanding learners.
Let's just say this one more time, because it is the central message of this entire explainer. It has to be about the student, always. The technology has to serve the learner, not the other way around.
So, where does that leave us? It leaves us with a really fundamental choice to make about the future we want to build for education. And it's a choice that has very, very real consequences.
Look, this isn't just some abstract academic debate. As these AI tools get plugged into our classrooms and online courses, the choice we make is going to directly affect students, teachers, and parents everywhere.
It really just boils down to these two paths. On path A, education becomes a laboratory for AI research. On path B, AI becomes a partner for student success. And the thing is, we are making the choice about which path to take right now, with every new study we publish and every new tool we build.
And that brings us to our final and definitely most important question. It's the one we all have to keep asking as this tech gets smarter and more capable.
How do we keep our focus sharp? How do we make absolutely sure that every single innovation serves the most important person in the entire equation, the learner?